stage, we've submitted it formally to Doom, who are the overriding body on this, and we have constant communications with them in regard to your concerns. These are not filed away or put in a drawer. They're activated, and council staff, professional staff, carry that forward, and will continue to do so. Beginning of this issue.
The sediment control plan in place now is totally not going to work with the top down. It's already compromised.
We'll get the full report, we'll get that to you, and then we look forward to your submissions, and we look forward to taking those forward and having further meetings.
Well, we have a group of scientists working on it right now, so we'll put in a very strong submission to have this rolled.
Very good. Put in.
Can I say something?
Sure.
Our roads are so inadequate, I don't even know how this got passed in the first place. Whichever direction they go, those roads are terrible. It got rated the 10th worst road in Queensland by RSEQ 2 months ago. Putting these quarry trucks on that road is going to jeopardise every person that travels. We're a close-knit community. I'm nearly crying just talking about this because I know it's going to happen and you're not going to listen until people die. And they're our friends, they're part of our community. The roads are so bad. I mean, we manage on them because we choose to live there, we drive slow, but with a quarry truck coming in the opposite direction, I know who's going to win.
I got it. And look, I understand exactly what you're saying, and since the issue raised its head because of the expansion of the quarry with the new operator, I've made submissions to the Minister for Main Roads, for the Regional Manager of Main Roads, exactly on that issue, and I have concerns about it.
Yeah, but how did it get passed in the first place, knowing the infrastructure is so bad?
There's two separate issues. One is the road, and one is the quarry. And
well, they tie together.
Before
one without the other, that's now designated.
How can you agree to have a mega quarry when you know the infrastructure is so bad?
That we're going around in circles again.
This isn't a
No, it's not.
This is a foremost concern is the safety of the people.
It doesn't matter what I say at this point because you're going to come back with some other comment, but it's important that you contact your state member because it's a main road.
It's not main road.
Passing the buck to get the approval. King Pomona Road is a main road.
Don't pass the quarry, you know the roads are inadequate.
Yeah, exactly.
And why not act upon it yourself? Why keep telling us to go? Why don't you act upon it?
You're supposed to be representing us. You're supposed to be representing us. Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you standing up for us?
I've written to the Regional Manager of Main Roads. We've had our Director of Infrastructure go down, we've had our Director of Infrastructure go down and talk directly with the Regional Manager of Main Roads about this issue because we have concerns about it. We are representing you. Thank you. I'm going to get to a statutory meeting.
We wouldn't need to talk to Main Roads, would you?
And they've denied it right up until the last couple of weeks, and now that Nielsen's have put in their new plan, we see now that we were right. And now what the new plan says is that it's really trying to justify all the stuff that they've already done. And it hasn't been in accordance with the approved plan. It's been it's been following a plan that they hadn't submitted to council. Sure. I showed this to Derm on Friday, and they said they'd never seen this plan.
An important thing to keep in mind that we are a small community. We're a postcode of 450. In this community, we've raised how much dollars do we raise?
140,000 so far.
So far.
To pay our legals.
Wow,
so this is a situation we're placed in because we are a small community, and I think in the first place, council and Nielsen's felt that we can get away with anything. There are a small community. What are they going to do, out there? And I mean, we've really punched above our weight. The amount of money raised, the amount of effort. I think it's probably closer to 170,000, wasn't it?
They told Derm when they started out there in January last year. They told Derm they would be starting the work phases in March, in 3 months. Well, they still haven't. That's all the things we've put in place to stop them and to slow them down. They've now had to do so much work to try and bring it into the 21st century. But their idea in the first place was to go out there and just rip into it. And
if we hadn't stopped him, it would have been diabolical.
Done what we did, they would have been producing 12 months ago illegally.
It's a real David and Goliath story. I think that's what you really got to see it as, picture it as. I mean, look at us. When we did go to court, I mean, we had to mount a legal challenge against Queen's councillors about multi-millionaires of Nielsen's with council and all their funding. What I mean, council sat on the hands. Council didn't sit on the constituent side. They sat on the side of the developer of Nielsen's.
And they let Nielsen's run the case. They didn't argue
and it's a
anything.
travesty because Nielsen's in itself, I mean, it'll have no economic boom for the community. In fact, it'll devastate our community economically, not only our lifestyle. I mean, this is the situation that we have to face. Now, where is the support from the council when it was supposed to? We vote these people in to supposed to represent us, and all they've done is work against us.
The university's
and for what?
done an economic and environment study, and the first things that have come out of that is that 87% of businesses in the Noosa hinterland are against this quarry. They all know that this is going to severely affect
Ask
their
real estate
businesses.
agents.
87% of the businesses in the survey are against it. That tells you something.
Nobody.
I couldn't believe there was a mega quarry coming in because of the road, for starters. Driving on that road just in a car is frightening enough at times. But the fact that they would go into such a beautiful area and completely decimate the natural beauty there just didn't make sense. And then when Robin was saying that it also runs off into the Noosa River, I couldn't believe it. So I don't understand how a council that's meant to be priding itself on a very environmentally friendly area, the hinterland, would be allowing something like a mega quarry to come in.
I don't think we'll have a Noosa trail. I don't think they've considered the long-term effects on tourism, and that's where the money is. People will come from the United States, they'll come everywhere to ride that trail, but not anymore.
Well, firstly, the safety of our families. A piece of heaven will go. I'll be like that kid on the Britney Spears going, "No, Britney!" Yeah, we'll lose a piece of heaven that's so close to Australia's major destination. You know, do we have to drive 300 kilometres to get our kids to experience nature? Are they going to keep raping and pillaging our hinterland for a quarry? It's ridiculous. People are going to die. What are you going to do? Will you wait until they die? We're telling you now it's going to happen. The roads cannot handle it. Get real.
Well, out of all the places in the world, we came from the Netherlands, and out of all the places in the world, we chose Kinkin to live here, and that was because it's quite a unique spot. It's tranquil, it's green, it's just amazing, and it's so easy to ruin that, and that seems to be the plan of this council.
No, when we bought our property 6 years ago, we had no idea there was a mega quarry about to commence. We did all the normal searches that you do and nothing came up.
Well, when we were looking to move to the country, we chose Kinkin because it's a beautiful place. It's got a beautiful environment, it's green, it's clean, it's serene. We thought it was a safe place for our children to grow up. We did council searches and nothing showed up about the quarry, so it came as a bit of a rude shock when we found out there was a quarry going in. It's no longer a safe place for our children. It's no longer going to be environmentally friendly with a quarry pouring silt into the Noosa River. The roads are not really at a standard that's safe at the moment, let alone with 40, 80, 100 quarry trucks a day on them. So we're very disappointed in what's happened.
So I work at Living Valley Springs, which is actually right at the end of Shepperson's Lane, where the quarry is apparently happening. The road's not sealed. The other day when I was leaving work, and this would happen to any people that leave the property, had a truck driving along the road kicking up so much dust that actually couldn't safely turn at the intersection there. So that's two blind corners, cars passing each other, cars leaving our property, cars coming along Shepperson's Lane, and the visibility was just zero. I actually had to wait 5 minutes in order to be able to, the dust to clear and for me to be able to safely turn. Not only that, we had a guest utilising the Noosa walking trail along Shepperson's Lane. They actually got completely bombarded and swamped with dust. So I just think it's a bit of a disgusting way for the council to actually welcome visitors to the area. They provide a walking trail and then they treat them in that way by allowing trucks and things like that to utilise that trail as well. It's just a bit contradictory, and it's just a shame it's happening.
Kinkin really is a sleepy little town, and that's why a lot of people moved here in the first place. It's very green, beautiful, but you're just not going to get that anymore when there's trucks coming by every 8 minutes. It's going to detract from, the whole philosophy behind what the Sunshine Coast is and what a lot of people who move to the Sunshine Coast stand for. So.
We want more! We want more! We want more! Hands off the hinterland! Hands off the hinterland! Hands off the hinterland! Hands off the hinterland! We want more! 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 To keep his hands off the hinterland! Keep your hands
Bob's not here. He's down at a local government association meeting. So, and if he became our councillor in Division 12, this would be what would be happening all the time. He'd never be here. He'd always be down at local government association meetings, so we'd have no representation if he was our councillor. So
what's happening in there?
nothing. They're in closed session. I haven't even been in yet.
Boring.
Did you hear us, Ian?
Yes.
You can hear us?
So you could hear us up there?
It's 3 floors up, and yes, we can hear.
us?
We can hear. Yes.
Oh, good.
Woo!
Okay.